If you guys have it like confirmed that somebody definitely voted under my name in New York State, then somebody's voting with my name.
No, the reason you come up on our list is because it said that you had voted in 2018 here and there.
I didn't vote up there.
And we don't care.
No, we don't. I care. I care.
He hasn't been there for years. I don't know, you guys come, not necessarily you, but every year we seem to be, somebody knocking on the door looking for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They show up there every year looking for just me.
It wouldn't surprise me if I'm still a registered voter in New York, but I haven't voted in New York in 13 years. No, it wasn't me. It's voter fraud, apparently.
I think what's just odd to us is that it shows that you voted early here, and then it shows that you voted in person at the polls in New York.
No, that was not me. I haven't been there in many years.
So, Brandon, we've obtained the voter data for both New York and Florida.
It's the 2018 data, right?
Data that goes from 2000 to 2018.
Let's cross-reference both states to find the double voters in 18.
Got a few hundred matching names who appear to have voted in both states.
Guys, let's run that data again, having a different data analyst.
You have to prove it's the same person.
We're gonna have to look at the property records to make sure it's the same person.
We need to check with the Board of Election offices. We just checked with the BOE offices. We have a confirmation.
Eagle Street is the one.
All right, let's doorstop them.
Copy. We have a team headed to Sarasota right now.
Okay, guys, I think we got it.
I gotta be careful how I was talking to.
Be a catalyst for change. Be brave. Do something.
Voter fraud in America is threatening our democracy. There are things that can greatly reduce the fraud, like voter ID requirements, standardized residency laws across the country, and interstate cross-checking of voter rolls, all of which would help eliminate instances of double voting that we are exposing in this series. Last week, we reported on a man who admitted to voting in Florida and New York, violating both state and federal laws.
You voted for Higgins for U.S. Congress in New York and Scott for Senate and Bill Rackus in Florida in 2018. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
In today's investigation, we meet 3 voters in Florida who used to live in New York. At first glance, it looked like these 3 men were voting illegally by voting in both states. But our reporting led us to another more sinister conclusion. In each case, it looks like someone was voting in New York State in their name without their knowledge. Now, as you watch this, please know the following report was verified by state voter data, interviews with state election officials, and with the voters themselves at their front doors. We want to be very clear. We believe all these men are victims of voter fraud and not culprits.
But I've lived in Florida for the past 5 years.
5 years, okay.
And I switched my license and my voter registration and everything over as soon as I moved down here 5 years ago.
Okay.
Like within a week of me moving here.
Okay.
So you're registered Florida.
Oh yeah.
And you're no longer registered in New York.
I turned in my license and everything at the DMV. They took my ID, my New York State license. They issued me the Florida one.
Kevin Robinson used to live in Depew, New York, near Buffalo. We found his parents at his old address.
Who are you looking for?
Kevin Robinson?
He does not live here anymore. He lives in Florida.
Okay, because it says that he's registered to vote here, so we weren't sure if he...
No, he's in Florida now.
Okay, well, do you know if he voted last election here?
I don't know.
We just wanted to make sure there's no other...
Kevin Robinson?
That would have been registered to this address?
Absolutely not.
No, like seniors.
Okay.
Okay.
He's the one and only, trust me, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
We asked the Erie County, New York Board of Elections about Kevin Michael Robinson's registration and recent voting history in New York.
Yeah, his birthday was yeah, right. So he did vote in 2018. 2018. Yes, 2018.
Okay, and the address matches up?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Kevin Robinson was not happy to learn that someone was voting in his name.
Because our intern right here was filming some training stuff today, one day.
Someone's voting in my name in New York. I haven't voted in New York. I mean, let's face it, I was, 25, 26 when I moved down here. So I guess I would have been eligible to vote for about 8 years. But I haven't voted in New York since...
Are you a junior or a senior? Is it like your parents?
No.
You don't have someone by your same name?
No.
That's weird.
Because that's usually a common way that, you
Yeah,
know,
no,
you get
my
like
father's name is
duplication.
Larry and my brother's name's Eric. So there's no other Kevin Robinsons in my family.
No, the reason you come up in our list is because it said that, you had voted in 2018 here and there.
I didn't vote up there.
And we don't care.
No,
we don't
I care. I care.
Okay, just didn't want you to think like,
No. That's not an issue at all. I mean, of course, I have concerns if it's showing that I'm voting in New York, because I know I don't vote in New York. And
it appears that someone is voting as Kevin Michael Robinson in New York illegally.
If you guys have it like confirmed that somebody definitely voted under my name in New York State, then somebody's voting with my name.
Do you have an issue with voter fraud? Have you noticed on any?
Have I what?
No. Have you had problems with voter fraud stuff?
No.
Like when you've taken out credit, you might want to. I mean, just as a precaution.
You might want to look into it.
You may want to.
Yeah.
Because it's weird that you're appearing in two places.
Yeah.
Right, but the way I understand it too is that when I moved down here and I changed everything over. Now I did my driver's license and I did my voter registration at the same time. Again, within a week of me moving. So my interpretation is when I do that, I surrender my New York State license to the DMV here, who then communicates with the DMV in New York and basically removes my residency in New York and establishes it in Florida.
How would someone even be able to vote for him in New York if he doesn't have?
Right, if I don't have residency, how can I vote?
In New York.
I'm not a New York State resident.
Well, we know that polls can be very porous. How do you typically vote? Do you vote by mail?
Right
Do you
over
vote?
here.
You go in
I've always
person?
gone in person.
In person.
In person.
And here, do they ask you for ID?
Yeah.
So you actually have to present ID when you go to the polls.
In Florida, right? You do.
We had to this past election right across the street.
Right across the street.
That was like 2018.
Yeah.
General, and you said you guys both vote primary and general, but never municipal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't vote municipal.
Is this like a thing that you guys are everywhere? You guys are like nationwide?
We are all over, but I wasn't aware of New York. That's why when you said it, I was like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, when I saw you guys were talking about voter stuff,
today.
I was really confused because we just had this conversation maybe an hour ago when Dad called.
My dad called me. Yeah, he asked if I voted in New York.
Both the father and the son told us something rather suspicious.
He hasn't been there for years. I don't know, you guys come by, not necessarily you, but every year we seem to be somebody knocking on the door looking for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says they show up there every year looking for just me. But this year, whoever showed up said that I had voted in New York and Florida. And I said,
so what do you mean they show up every year?
Apparently somebody shows up, and he says that it's usually two guys. This year it was two different people, but he says every year since I've moved, they've showed up there. Yeah, they were wondering the same thing because, like I said, my dad said that they come up there every year looking for me.
But I'm curious who they looking for you are. Do your parents find out? Do they know who these people are?
I asked my dad, I says, who are these people affiliated with? And he says, that's a good question. I didn't ask. I'm like, why wouldn't you ask that, Dad?
No, he should find out because that, I'm saying you say they come every year.
Yeah.
Who's they?
Yeah, but he says usually it's two guys. I voted in Florida, but I did not vote in New York.
Right, you weren't voting in two places for the same election.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. And sorry, but thank you and enjoy your
No, I'm
new
glad
home.
you guys came out so that we can get it straightened out.
Clean it out.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Michael Bornhorst has a very similar story.
It wouldn't surprise me if I'm still a registered voter in New York, but I haven't voted in New York in 13 years. No, it wasn't me. It's voter fraud, apparently.
And our intern is going
Yes.
to
Hi there.
be just taking some videos for quality assurance and training. And you're a full-time Florida resident?
Yes.
So you're not a snowbird. You're a young guy. You're not a snowbirder yet?
No.
So this is your permanent residence?
Yes.
And you don't, like split time?
No.
Between here and another state?
The man living in Bornhorst's old house confirmed Michael's story.
Okay, is Michael home or?
Michael Bornhorst?
Yes.
No, he lives in Florida now.
Oh, he lives in Florida now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm sorry.
Thanks. No problem. I'm sorry. Do you happen to know when he moved?
Mike moved
8 years ago now.
Oh, 8 years ago he moved to Florida?
He moved a while ago.
Okay.
Bornhorst gets it. Without cross-referencing voter registration lists across the states, voters who have moved remain on the rolls.
Okay, the question that we're reading up and we saw that, you know, there might be someone in New York voting under the same name. So we were concerned on your behalf.
I moved here from New York, but their records are all off. They still send me papers of my house I grew up in where my sister lives now for jury duty. I haven't lived there in 13 years. So it wouldn't surprise me if I'm still a registered voter in New York, but I haven't voted in New York in 13 years, you know. So, no, it wasn't me. It's voter fraud, apparently.
We believed Michael, but for the record, the Board of Elections in New York says he did vote, or someone did, using his name. Remember, there are no voter ID requirements to vote in New York.
I'm looking to get a voting record for Michael Bornhorst.
You want voting history?
Mm-hmm.
He voted in the general election 2004.
Okay.
And then he voted the general election 2018.
And do you know if that was by mail or was it at the polls?
They both would have been at the polls because he doesn't have an absentee on file.
Okay. All right. And so those were both national general elections, or was it the primary and the general?
It was the general.
Just the general? Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Bornhorst saw no reasonable explanation.
You don't have like, you said your sister lives at that house. There's
Right.
no other, you know, there's no father that you may be the junior, he's the senior, so there couldn't be confusion. I'm just
That happens
trying to
sometimes.
rule out confusion.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes, too.
Is there
A
any
lot,
other thing that you can think of?
No, just my sister still lives in that address. That's it. My dad lives down here.
So,
You know,
and
he's got a
your-
different first initial and everything, so I couldn't see that.
And your sister is the same last name? Bornhorst.
Same last name.
And she's a Michelle and you're a Michael. That's the only,
That's weird.
same initial, and
Yeah.
unless they're, they just don't care.
And that does seem to be the problem. The state of New York is not doing anything to prevent double voting.
We were looking for Mr. Dwight Mumper.
That is I.
I forgot to mention before, this is Patrick, he's training, and so our person down here is filming us for training purposes. We have that you voted in the 2018 general election in Florida, early voting. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And did you vote for Nelson or Scott? If you don't mind sharing.
Well, I don't want to share.
Okay, that's totally fine. We also happened to find this a little anomaly that shows that you also voted in, it says that you voted in New York at 5 New Paltz.
Well, we've been residents of Florida. That's our old address.
Oh, okay. All right, so you don't live there anymore?
No.
Do you mind if I ask how long it's been? We can help you maybe try and clear this up.
Let's see. Actually, what was the year Obama was elected?
08.
It would have been probably 2007.
Oh, okay, so you haven't been at that address since 2007?
Yeah, quite a while.
Oh, okay, all right. That's a little concerning that they have you. There's not another, like, Dwight Mumper, like, Jr. or anything like that might have been mixed up, do you think?
No, and my son lives there, David.
Does he live at the 5 Road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your son David lives there. Okay, perfect. And I think what's just odd to us is that it shows that you voted early here, and then it shows that you voted in person at the polls in New York.
No, that was not me. Haven't
Okay.
been there in many years.
We believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. Across the country, because some states have no law against double voting, no cross-referencing of registration data, and lax voter ID requirements, the opportunity and prevalence of double voting is a blight on our elections. Rather than worrying about a few Russian trolls, perhaps our focus should be on reforming the laws in this country to fix a system that is clearly broken. Now, if you're aware of double voting or ballot harvesting or voting by illegal aliens, don't sit silently. Be brave and contact us. We will help you fix the problem by exposing the problem. Go to projectveritas.com/brave, send us a secure email, wear a camera, and expose the truth.
Be a catalyst for change. Be brave. do something.